Hey everybody, this is like the third time I've filmed a raised bed garden update. Seems like every time I film one, the raised beds change. So I'm going to film one real fast before something changes. Anyway, you can see over here I've got a raised bed that I have filled with the rest of my corn. This is where I had some cabbage. And it was just early Jersey Wakefield cabbages. We harvested all of those, gave a couple of them away. And I'm finished with cabbage for at least a few months. We can grow cabbage, broccoli, collards, things like that here in North Carolina twice a year. So when the cabbage gets a decent size in the spring, those get taken out because I want to use it for something that I can't grow in the fall. Anyway, I picked a couple of zucchini squash today. There's one. Here's another one. This one's kind of not fully formed, but an ant on there. This is the size that we like them. Usually they're formed a little bit better, but it probably has something to do with the weather or the watering. Anyway, that's my zucchini bed. And I filmed a video on that, just showing how to prune your zucchini plants. Let's look around. Also, this video is being filmed midday, so it's rather warm out here, in the 80s. So that's why everything looks kind of shriveled up. As soon as the sun goes down or stops shining on this stuff, that it perks right back up. But you can see these plants. And sometimes this is an advantage because you can see your plants a little bit better. These are loaded down with little tiny green beans. I didn't even know I had them this size already. So it's kind of good that I'm be able to see it like that. You can see these are Bush Blue Lake green beans. This is patty pan squash. Had a couple extra plants, well, 4 to be exact. Put those in that little bed. And more yellow squash here, and they haven't done anything yet. So they do have little tiny squash on there, just waiting for them to get pollinated. This one's, looks like something's bit off the end of that one. I'll get that one later. Got a few peppers there in the back. They've been waiting for it to get hot, and it's starting to get hot around here. My zucchini bed again. I got some, there's one right there I'll probably pick. Sometimes these things blend in, you can walk right past them. So that's good. Here's my corn bed. These are peaches and cream. And you can see the wind has already caused these to fall over a little bit. So I'm going to build something for these to keep them up because I want some corn, so we got to keep them standing up. I'll figure it out. Keep you posted. More green beans in the back. These were sowed a little bit earlier than these over here, and I have some pretty decent sized beans on this. I saw this earlier. See that one right there? Could probably be picked. It's a little small. We like them really young and tender though. They're really good. So maybe, you know, a couple more days I could give that. There's another one. These look like they're loaded down with little green beans too. Let's see some on there. There's some more. My trellised, I think these are Kentucky, is it Kentucky Wonder? Anyway, these are pole green beans, and they have started to bloom also. There's some blooms right there. There's some over here. So that's good. This is the first time I've ever grown pole beans, and got them climbing up this trellis, and they are all the way at the top. Cucumbers, very dry right now, but they like this heat. You can see these are in the sun. These are not. You can see how the sun affects those, kind of shriveled them up. I think I might have a cucumber pretty soon. There's one there, and looks like this one over here has been pollinated. So that's good. That's encouraging, because I was getting kind of worried about these things. This is a Roma tomato plant in a pot. Got some nice Romas on there. I don't think I'll have a shortage of Roma tomatoes. There's my strawberry bed. Hasn't done much. That's okay. They're ever-bearing, so I'm just going to let them do whatever they want to do for right now. More patty pan squash, and saw earlier that, let's see, where's it at? There we go. There's my first, well, there's several on there now. That's my little, that's what the patty pan looks like. A pretty cool looking little squash, if you're into that, which I am. So here's another one over here, looks like. That's pretty neat. So that's what a patty pan is going to look like. These should be white, and they should be, I think it's 4 inches across when you need to harvest them. So that's going to be cool this year. Never grown those before. Here's some tomatoes in one of my raised beds. These are celebrities along the back. These look pretty healthy. These are all celebrities. Got some nice blooms on there. This looks like there's a tomato under there. Yep. There's a little one. And I got a couple over here. And these are Better Bush. Some I wanted to try. Just have these in pots. Decent sized little tomatoes there. We got the Romas that I started from seed here. This one has just exploded. And that's a Roma plant. They're not supposed to get that huge, I don't think. One I had last year just bushed out. This one's kind of just gotten a lot taller. These are the ones I started from seed. These back here I purchased. These are called La Roma 2 plants. What happened early in the season, I had a cold snap hit some of my tomatoes. I kind of freaked out, went out and bought some. Ended up having a little more than I needed, but that's better to be in that shape than the other. So these are loaded down with Roma tomatoes. Let's see if I can find a good, there's some back in there. These over here under this plant look great. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that cluster. Going over here, same plant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that cluster. Same plant here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And there's some more up here at the top. There's some more right there. And there's some more over here. This is a different plant though. Let's see how many we got on this one. I'm not going to count them all, but just show you how these Romas produce. I'm really impressed. I think the first time I grew Romas was last year. I had one plant produce tons of tomatoes, more than these. And we canned them. We had enough to eat this winter. So I had one plant last year of Romas. Right now I've got a lot more than one. So good deal. Lots of tomatoes here we're going to be canning. Won't be too long. So anyway, this is my Roma bed. Right here, this bed has changed. Talk about changes. This is where I had my cold crops, my broccoli, cabbages. Tore those up, put out my, what are these called? Sprite melons. So I've got 3 hills here, 3 hills here. My plan is to let them grow together like this. Kind of fence this in a little bit, and try growing some sprite melons. These were saved seeds from a sprite melon from last year. Alright, this is where my pick and pick yellow squash were, and they were not doing anything, so I took them up. That may sound drastic, but I've grown squash enough to know whether they're going to start producing, and they just stayed small and had a bunch of little squishy squash growing on them, and they had to go. So I put out more zucchini, more yellow squash. This is a patty pan here, so we're going to start over. Sometimes you got to do that. It's alright. And then my battery's about to die. This is all purple hull peas, and they have come up. I sowed these this weekend. You can already see purple hull pea that's come up. Had some problems with squirrels digging around in here, but there's not much you can do about that. I'll try to keep them out. There's my sunflowers. This big one's going to be zooming. It's going to be blooming soon, and that'll be all of them. I grew 10 sunflower, and all 10 have done great. Alright, my battery's about to die. Thank y'all for watching. Leave comments. There's a brief bucket look, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.